the subject, and in your permission I'll sit, but it's out of respect to you. You see, this is the problem actually, local and global approach to the crack path habit. And what I want to say here is that even with the crack path habit investigation, we can add more explanation to many problems that are involved in the model of this kind of interaction of hydrogen with single crystal, which is very important to remember when we're talking about a single crystal, which can give us more of a localized approach and more of information related to the details, which we'll see. The presentation outline is fine features, visualization, experimental simulation results. We'll have here also kind of simulation. We'll talk about this only on the nature on the topic. That path additional contribution for understanding of the model and brief discussion. Now you can see here that we are using also fracture mechanics approach in all the details. The specimens are specimens that were calibrated and they are sharp correct after fatigue, and altogether we can identify or we can specify clearly, the conditions of the load and the conditions of the test mechanically, and you will see later on we enter also to the environment specification in a sophisticated way. I'm running here fast because I don't have time, but I would say this. Because it's hydrogen involved, we have also some kind of touch with hydrogen embrittlement problem, as you will see later on. So altogether it's quite a complicated problem that on one hand we are speaking about interaction, but all what's involved here is also kind of embrittlement. Hydrogen, which is by itself a very complicated topic. This is just to give you, the fundamental approach, which is looking on crystal structure in a very detailed way. This illustration of what's going on in this kind of crystal that on one hand with hydrogen and without hydrogen, you have a regular ductile behavior with microvoid coalescent behavior as you are acquainted with the ductile structure. This is not the case with hydrogen. With hydrogen, suddenly we have a transition from this kind of mode to a very different brittle mode that you will see. Sorry that I'm running here in order to save some time. This is a case of, just for your information, that deals with hydrogen in a polycrystalline material. In this case, it's stainless steel. And you will see here that altogether, although it's not a single cluster, but say that we are facing similar modes that we see in the single cluster. For example, here is a polycrystalline material, here, and in this polycrystalline material, you see grains in particular direction that are facing cleavage. This is also an X-ray profile post-charging in different times in two different condition of X-ray depth in copper K alpha and cobalt K alpha, and I don't want to enter what you see here, phase transformation, all kind of stability in terms of phases. This is a Mossbauer case just to give you the nature of the study and the depth of the study, in fact, of experimental, very sophisticated way. And here also in this Mossbauer transition, we see the formation of transformation due to hydrogen. This is a very nice illustration of the hydrogen mirror tip, and all what you see here are bubbles of hydrogen coming out and trapped in a glycerin-covered surface. It's very nice, because when we talk about hydrogen, we don't see hydrogen. So all I wanted to tell you here is that we are using all kind of techniques in order to see something. When we see, we can measure. When we see, we can come to some kind of ideas in terms of quantities too. Now, I'm very glad that this kind of model was used in the previous lecture, in a way, but we did it on a different purpose. This is the active dislocation emission in order to simulate the stresses that are involved in a very, very sophisticated way, numerical tedious calculation in order to evaluate, what kind of stress field we have at the tip. This is also something in order to illustrate, slip traces in the surface. And you see here the system, the crack direction, the crack surface, and this also serves to deal fundamentally, quantitatively, with a local approach that can be supported and that can be covered by experimental activity. This is the same single crystal, very tedious work in the crack tip in order to reveal the dislocation structures near the tip. And you can see, for example, it's illustrated here, the directions of the formation of dislocation structures in a certain fashion. I am speaking fast, and I try to, and I know that it's a busy way to explain something here, but in order to teach maybe the people that organize this kind of conference, that a quarter of our time to deal with problems like this is a joke. Now here you see the stress field as also summarized in a way of the dislocation structure emission, the dislocation emission in a numerical way, and you see that the stress field that is estimated according to this kind of model is very high at the tip, very, very high, 22,600 megapascal, the normal stress, which is almost level of the cohesion. Now, according to this, we follow now a slope-clad road. And the slope-clad road is summarizes in a schematic way that every time we are moving a little bit, we establish a higher stress field due to the crack tip moving, the dynamic of the crack tip, and altogether we are going dip by dip, and we are going moving with the slope-clad road in a discontinuous way. It's a discontinuous way that was also confirmed by the acoustic emission techniques. So we could see, the nature of the discontinuity in details. Not only, assuming or trying to estimate not on an experimental confirmation. We are going to establish a model that knows quantitatively what's going on bit by bit. This is a very interesting illustration that we are taking two systems and we are trying to follow the crack tip in two systems. One is the 001, the basic surface on the direction of 010, and the other one is the same type of plane and the 110, and we are following on the strain that is accompanies the extension, and we see down, 200 microns, 400 microns, 600 microns, and so forth. And to see that one has higher level of strain, one system, compared to the other system that is in the lower plot, and it's significantly lower along all the way. Now, this is also interesting and connected also in a hard way to the ideas of the first lecture here today. You see that in two different systems, top matching fractal surface, the bottom matching surface, we have a different front of the crack, completely different front. So it's not the same advancement along the crack software road, and we could also explain it later on. Now, this is something that I want you to remember connected to the two important values that we measure. One is the crack velocity, and the other one is the stress and the local stress involved along the software road. And you see that in one case, the 110 is less, and the other one is the 110, the version is higher. And here I say something fast. Two viable models that are involved in hydrogen measurement are hydrogen enhanced plasticity, hydrogen enhanced cohesion. These are two viable important models proposed. So we see that only by the path investigation, we don't have a consistent measurement, and therefore, in fact, we are suggesting that to use also the path habits in order to support or negate, proposed model mechanisms. I am finishing pretty soon, don't worry. And this is also kind of a schematic model, and I want to speak about this. This is a technique of localized pattern on the cleavage plane that can illustrate the amount of plasticity. Here are two cases. They will differ in the amount of plasticity by the sharpness of the lines, like a Fuji line, and we can calibrate, and relate it to the amount of strain, the plastic strain. And here we see, and by this I'll finish, you see the specimen itself, as I mentioned before. The beginning is a region of fatigue sharpening. Then I have hydrogen-induced cracks, and then it's a running crack. And what you see here is the amount of plasticity that is involved in terms of dissipation on the cleavage plane. People feel that cleavage probably doesn't have anything to do with plasticity. We claim that all what we get in the cleavage plane is controlled by the plasticity. This is the major concept here. And we could measure it, and we could calibrate it, and by this I don't want to bother you more. This is just a nice picture of six-fold symmetry in zinc, and you see here the pattern that are like David Star, which is very nice, particular for me, that I'm coming from this kind of culture. Here is just a small note. You see here the surface, the specimen itself, and the region A is the sharpening of the crack, and B is the running test. Thank you very much.